Hello, welcome back to my art vlog. Somehow, more than a year has passed between this vlog and the last. I've still been chipping away at my art in between swim teaching, but I didn't really finish any pastel drawings last year, so I haven't had much to show here. I did finish a couple of graphite pieces though, I just don't tend to film much of those drawings process. But both of those drawings are part of a larger series that I'm doing, drawing a connection between dolphins and humans through music. I'm currently working on the next piece in that series, and this one is a pastel drawing, so I'll have more to show on that one once it's done. Outside of creating more drawings, I finally spent time last year getting around to framing all of my pastel pieces. It took a while because I was determined to frame everything using recycled materials, which involved a fair bit of work to source and repurpose them. But I got there and can happily say that they are all indeed framed with 100% recycled materials, but I'll create another video about that soon. I spent the first couple of months of this year finally putting together a series of keynote presentations, which I've been wanting to create for years, that I want to take out into the community. Since then, I've been back working with pastels again, though I keep jumping between different pieces, including starting yet another series after deciding I wanted to create a pastel piece for every species of oceanic dolphin, i.e. the delphinids, that there is. Needless to say, that will be a long-term project. There are around 40 species of oceanic dolphins, give or take depending on whether or not you include those not currently formally recognised as a separate species, too many of which don't seem to get much attention. When I think about dolphins, most people summon images of species like bottlenose or common dolphins, but there are so many different species that come in all different sorts of shapes, colours and sizes that deserve attention too. For example, these guys I'm drawing here, the commersons dolphins. Also called sea pandas or sea skunks due to their black and white markings, they are part of the subfamily that also includes hectors and hourglass dolphins, and are one of the smallest of oceanic dolphins. There are two distinct populations of commersons, which actually reside on opposite sides of the world. There's the South American commersons around Argentina, southmost Chile, and the Falkland Islands. And there's the commersons of the Kerguelen Islands in the South Indian Ocean. No one really knows how the two subspecies came to be so far apart from one another, but they are genetically and morphologically distinct enough that they could actually be recognised as two different subspecies. The South American commersons are a bit smaller and have black and white colouring, while the Kerguelen commersons are a bit larger, with black, white and grey colouring. Across both populations, their colouring is also different when they are first born. Calves are actually all black with grey spots that lighten throughout the first several months of their life. It's not until they're around 4 to 6 months of age that they have their full adult coloration. Commersons don't seem to have a very long lifespan, only really living to around 10 years of age in the wild. But they do live it in full. Whilst there's not a lot known about them, thanks to the turbulent waters they live in making studying them difficult, we do know that they are rather playful, agile and energetic little creatures. They are seen frequently leaping and darting about the rough and wild seas that they live and seemingly thrive in, reaching speeds of up to 11 to 13 kilometres an hour. They often seem to enjoy surfing the waves in the shallow breakwater and the pressure waves from the bows of boats, or swimming upside down and spinning around underwater like a corkscrew. They've been observed pushing objects around the bay and onto the beach, and even nudging birds off of a break. They are curious and often approach boats, and apparently interact with people wading in the shore. Occasionally, they'll gather in groups of up to 100, usually during seasonal blooms where prey is a lot more abundant. But they normally only really hang out in pairs or small groups of less than 10. They've also been seen interacting with other marine mammals, commonly hanging out with Peale's dolphins, swimming in synchronicity, riding waves together, and feeding in similar areas. Commersons tend to prefer shallow coastal waters less than 200 metres deep, typically moving closer inshore with the tide. Sometimes they'll also venture near river mouths and even into the lower reaches of the rivers. Fishermen have reported that they actually disappear from their common areas in the wintertime, but no one really knows where they go. Acoustically, most literature will tell you that the only sound they produce are narrow-band, high-frequency clicks, typically used in echolocation, that sit above our hearing range. But a study conducted in 2016 found that they do also produce whistles, though not signature whistles, and broad-band frequency clicks that sit at lower frequencies. It looks like their whistles are associated with parental behaviour, as they were mostly only heard when mums and calves were around. It's also been suggested in other studies that the narrow-band frequency clicks might actually have functions other than echolocation, and might even be used to communicate socially. When it comes to feeding, commersons are opportunistic, often feeding alone on things they come across on the seafloor. But they will also work together to herd prey in the water column or against the shore too. 25 different species have been found in the stomachs of commerson dolphins that have been caught in South America, including fish, squid, shrimp, and even algae, which is theorised to be a protective layer to help prevent damage from the beaks of squid in their stomach. The Kerguelen dolphins, on the other hand, seem to have a more restricted diet of mostly just small fish and crustaceans. Despite their small size, they actually eat proportionally more than orca or bottlenose do per day, as they have a much higher metabolic rate, which is actually pretty common of small animals living in colder waters. Commersons take around 6 to 9 years to reach sexual maturity, though apparently the South American commersons mature at a younger age than the Kerguelen commersons. Despite their close proximity to shore, they're not actually seen very often, thanks to the turbulent waters they live in. And if you do spot them, their speed and sometimes erratic swimming behaviour can make them pretty hard to keep track of in the water. Like I said before, thanks to these conditions, not a lot of studying has been done on the commersons, so they're pretty data deficient, which makes it really hard to know their level of endangerment. Though regulations and protections are in place in some areas, the conditions and remoteness of the commersons range make it hard to monitor and enforce anything. Sadly, they are still actively hunted in South America to be used as bait for the large crab fisheries there, even though crabs apparently don't actually favour dolphin meat. Whilst the live capture of commersons is banned, unfortunately some have still been caught in recent years. They're also at risk from other fisheries, with at least 50 commersons being accidentally caught in nets used to target other marine life each year. And of course there's contamination issues that the commersons face as well. And that's more or less the extent of what scientists know about commerson dolphins. If you're ever lucky enough to interact with one in the wild, I hope you recognise your fortune, enjoy their playful, energetic presence, and give them the respect that they, as any other being, deserves. If you're in Melbourne and would like to see this piece in person, or any of my other pieces, I'm excited to share that I will actually be having an exhibition on the 31st of May at the Eco Centre in St Kilda, where I'll also be giving a talk in the afternoon. So yeah, come along to that if you can. If you liked this video and would like to see more videos about the ocean or my art, support me in my passion and help me to hopefully inspire more people to like and care for our oceans, then clicking away would apparently be really helpful with that. So yeah, click the buttons. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye!